Hey everybody, welcome to Titans of CNC Academy. My name is Billy Boyce, and right now I'm going to take you through modeling the TITAN-5M. Okay, before we get started, let's make sure that we have downloaded the Eagle Cutter step file. You can find that in the related files where you found the prints for this part. First thing we want to do before we get started in the modeling is make sure we are in the design workspace. We'll come up here to create sketch and we'll choose that top surface there. We'll press C for circle. We'll go ahead and snap right here in the middle, click and drag that over, and that's a dimension of 1.95. Enter. And then what we'll want to do is come up here to solid and extrude. And we'll say minus 0.750 and enter. That finishes off the very first print. So let's go ahead and go to sheet number 2 of 3. Here we can see we're going to draw the star portion and the eagle stencil. First thing we want to do, come up here to sketch. We'll choose that top surface. We'll go create point. I'm going to put that right here and I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to come up here to constraints and I'm going to click this guy right here or go constraints and coincident. Click the point and the circle. What that does is it locks that point to the circle. Now I want this point to be straight up from this center point. The way we do that is we can go constraints, horizontal, vertical. We'll click this one and that one and it'll snap it right there. Now what we want to do is go create circular pattern. We'll go ahead and select that point. Under center point, we select that, and then we'll go to the center point. We'll go ahead and type in 5 and press enter. Now we can create our lines that are connecting, so we can press L for line, go under create line. I'm going to click there, 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 to here, and so on. Now that we have that, we can come up to modify fillet. I'm going to select this one and this one. Now I'm going to type in a dimension of 0.015. I am not going to press enter. Now I'm going to go and select the other corners. Once you have them all selected and the preview looks good, go ahead and hit enter. And we can go ahead and finish the sketch. We're going to come up here to extrude under create. Click right there and we're going to say minus 0.375 and enter. We can press F for fillet or go to modify fillet. Select right here, 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 and here. That's a radius of 0.175 and enter. Now we're going to go ahead and bring in the eagle stencil. We're going to use that to kind of mimic what the engraved looks like, and then that'll also give us a tool path line down the center of the engraved, which you'll use when you go to the cam portion. So the way we're going to do that is we can click this guy right here, and that'll open up where you stored it in Fusion, the cutter. And now we need to save before we can bring anything into it. So go ahead and hit save. I'm going to name it TITAN-5M, enter. Now I can right click on the cutter and say insert into current design. And that brings that right in, centered. It's exactly where we want it. All we have to do is say OK. There we go. So now we're going to come up here to create sketch. I'm going to choose the top of the star, and then I'm going to go create, project. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to click that and that. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to finish the sketch, and I'm going to turn off the eagle by selecting the eye, and that gets rid of that cutter. And And I actually didn't want to finish the sketch yet. So what we can do is come over here and right click and say Edit Sketch. I'm going to press O for offset, and we're going to do a 5 thou, 0.005. Enter. O for offset, 0.005. We have this little button right here to flip it so it's the other side. We can say OK. I'm going to press O for offset, click this one, 0.005, enter. O for offset. You can also do minus 0.005 and enter. We'll come up here to solid, flip that over, go to extrude, select those selections there, and then say minus 0.007, press tab, and say minus 35. Then enter. What that does is kind of gives you a nice simulated engrave. And then when you go to do the cam, all you have to do is turn on that sketch, and you'll have a center line to follow. So that finishes up sheet 2 of 3. Now we can go to 3 of 3 and add the 1/4-20 holes. So what we're going to do is come up here to create sketch, choose that lower surface. I'm going to press L for line. I'm going to snap right here and just drag a line up. I'm going to press escape, press L again, click that over there like that, and then drop it. I'm going to press D for dimension. Between these two, looks like we have a dimension of 36 degrees. And then I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to go create, point, and I'm just going to drop it right there. I'm going to hit escape again. I'm going to come over to constraints, go to coincident, select that, and this line. Now I'm going to press D for dimension. I'm going to go from here to here. We have a diameter of 1.5. We're only going to be doing half of it, so we say divided by 2 and enter. Now we can go create, circular pattern. We'll choose that point, come over here, make that selection, and select the center point. Again, we'll type in 5 and enter. We'll say finish sketch. Now we're going to come over here to create, hole, select here, 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 and here. We're going to do a distance. Hole type is going to have a countersink. Going to do the threads. We're going to do full thread and a drill tip. We see that we have a hole depth of 0.3 on the print, so 0.3. We have a upper chamfer diameter of 0.265, and we want to make sure that's 90 degrees. We want a 140 degree drill tip. It is going to be a ANSI unified screw thread. Under the size, we need to go down to 1/4. 1/4-20 is the default. We'll go ahead and leave everything else alone. Kind of rotate it here and take a look. Looks good. I'm going to go ahead and say OK. Now let's go ahead and add all the 10,000ths chamfer deburrs. So we'll go chamfer, here, here, and here. Type in 0.01 and hit enter. Go ahead and home it. Looks good. And there you go. That is the Titan 5M.